There's just this spirit of creativity and community up here in Maine. It's a beautiful place, but it's a rugged environment, and it's just always inspired me. Allagash White is our flagship beer. I've been drinking this beer for 26 years now, and I'm still getting a really unique experience. We brew every drop right here in Portland, Maine. We make it with Maine water, and we brew this beer with love.
Welcome, guys. It's our first ever beer review here on Best Beers in Me. We got beer reviews from Maine, New England, and beyond. Mostly Maine. We'll do a lot of everything, though. Today, you can't really do a Maine beer channel without reviewing Allagash White, can you? I probably would say not. Probably the most well-known beer from Maine.
And the first brewery I ever went to.
And the first brewery that Stephanie ever went to. Back, what, how many years ago? 3.5? A little over 3?
Almost 4 years ago.
A little over 3 years.
Before,
3.5 years ago.
Before I liked beer.
Before you liked beer.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, gotta swirl that up, get some stuff in there. So Rob Todd is the owner of Allagash. That's who you saw there at the beginning. Talking about his favorite beer, Allagash White. Just bear with me, I'm trying to get this poured in to the glasses. You're supposed to swirl up all that stuff at the bottom and get it in your glass. This is one of the original hazy beers, and it's not a hazy IPA at all. It is a Belgian Witbier, Allagash White. There we go, finally got it poured. And let's see what we got. I have a hard time describing this beer. Citrus, some peppery background there. What do you get?
I don't know.
You don't know. Alright, she's not sure. But we'll see what we get on this.
Lemon.
She always gets the lemon. Alright, well.
Maybe a little bit of orange, but it's lemon on the nose.
I definitely get more of the citrus on my big nose. With some pepperiness.
Cheers.
Cheers, let's dive in. I might get a little bit of lemon lime stuff going on.
I get
The flavors.
more of the orange
Look
in the
at
flavor
that.
than I did on the nose.
Reverse. That's kind of funny. Definitely a little spiciness there. So when they say their recipe, it's got orange peel and coriander and a special spice, which if you look online at homebrew recipes, some of them tell you what they think it is. Some people say it's just black pepper, which it could be. But I can't describe this very well, not enough to do it justice, so I know somebody that can. His name's Jason Perkins, brewmaster of Allagash.
So this is Allagash White, the first beer that we ever made here at Allagash back in 1995. It's modeled after Belgian-style Witbiers that have been brewed for quite some time in Belgium. It's brewed with unmalted and malted wheat, spiced with coriander and orange peel, and fermented with our house Belgian-style yeast strain. The resulting beer is crisp, clean, pretty notable in spice and citrus fruit character, brewed with oats as well, which contribute a nice silky mouthfeel to the beer. And it's a beer that we both brew a lot of and drink a lot of. Cheers.
Alright, welcome back. That was Jason Perkins, brewmaster at Allagash. And he talks about how they drink a lot of it. It's Rob Todd's favorite beer. He says he drinks it pretty much any time he wants a beer. He goes for the white. Allagash, if you go to the brewery, they got all kinds of just world-class sours and cool shit beers, and Rob Todd goes for the white. At least that's what he says. And I gotta believe him. That's why he started the brewery, was to brew this beer.
It's been around 26 years.
26 years, 1995. So going on 27 now.
And you can find it anywhere. Easily accessible.
When they first opened up for the first 10 years, they really struggled kind of gaining traction in the beer market. And people thought something was wrong with the beer because it didn't look right. People weren't used to seeing hazy beers. Didn't smell right. People didn't know. That was before Blue Moon and Shock Top come out. But when they come out, then people started looking for better beers, and Allagash White was the better option if you're looking for that style of beer, the Belgian, the Witbiers. But they struggled to sell, so they went to every market that they could at first, and they were in like 30 states or something like that, because they couldn't sell enough of it. And then once they started, really getting traction, they couldn't make enough of it, so they had to pull back from a lot of the different markets throughout the country. But to this day, LA, I guess, is their biggest market, or one of their biggest markets.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago, New York, and Boston, all the major cities. You can find an Allagash White pretty much anywhere.
We don't have a lot of access here to a ton of craft beer. Sometimes we have to travel to get a variety. But I went out one day with a friend and wasn't really into the beer scene at that point, and this was a go-to beer. This was one of the only things they had on there, and I've liked it ever since. It's just an easy drinking.
For a long time here in Maine, if you go to, especially like any of the big restaurants, the chain restaurants, they wouldn't have craft beer, but they would have Allagash White.
Allagash White.
So, and restaurants and bars around Holton, where we live in northern Maine, it took a long time for them to get craft beer up here, but they had Allagash White on. So, to me, I always would say, it's not the most exciting beer. It's not going to blow your socks off. It's not going to make you want to trade for it if you can't get it where you live, probably. Maybe you would, because it's kind of an iconic beer. But it's a beer that you know what you're going to get. It's consistent, it's solid, it's crisp, enjoyable,
and it's
refreshing.
Year-round. It's year-round.
Year-round. So Allagash says you can drink this at any time, anywhere, and it pairs with any food, especially seafood, which works well up here in Maine. Jason said something about the oats. Right here in our backyard in Linneus at Aurora Mills.
Yeah, about 10 miles from here.
They use their oats in this beer, so that's pretty cool. And Maine Malt House up in Mapleton. Allagash just hit 1 million pounds per year this last year. 5 years ago, they said, we're going to do this. We're going to build our way up to 1 million pounds of Maine grains. And they finally did it this year. So
from the Buck Boys.
From 1 year, mostly from Maine Malt House up in Mapleton, right here in Aroostook County. So again, it's not my go-to beer. It's not what I'm going to drink every day. Once in a while, even at the local bar, hey, I feel like having an Allagash White. It's just a beer that you know you're going to get. Refreshing, enjoyable. It won't kill your palate. It's a great starter beer. If you got friends who are not into the craft beer and that are asking, what beer should I have? I always say, grab an Allagash White. Because again, it's not going to wreck someone's palate. It's not going to, they're not going to be like, what the heck, like some, IPA that they're not used to drinking. So, there it is. I don't know. You like Allagash White? Do you have it in your market? Are you a fan? Hit us with some comments down below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to our channel, please. We're going to have all kinds of beer reviews coming up. A beer all throughout Maine and beyond.
Looking forward to it.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.